Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I apologize for starting late. Some of us have been in back-to-back meetings, and we just got a little bit delayed. Clerk of the Board, will you please call the roll?
Freeholder Carter.
Present.
Freeholder Estrada. Present. Freeholder Hudak.
Here.
Freeholder Jallo. Freeholder Kowalski. Freeholder Mirabella.
Present.
Freeholder Wright.
Here.
Vice Chairman Granados.
Here.
And Chairman Bergen.
Here.
Chairman, you have 7 freeholders present.
Thank you. Clerk, would you please lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag?
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, to grant the light of his spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, would you kindly read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act?
The chairman wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated, Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, the County of Union, has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2016, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances, to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2016 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2016 with the office of the County Clerk.
Thank you. Now I'd like to ask Freeholder Mirabella to join me up front for a presentation. And if we could have Madison McBride join us. It's always a pleasure to give out awards, but it's a particular pleasure tonight because we're giving out an award to someone from one of our, excuse me, our own county programs. We have with us tonight Madison McBride, who's from Fanwood, who is this year's winner of the Trooper of the Year Award. And I did have an opportunity to stop by at the end of May when the 83rd annual Spring Troop Horse Show went on, and to see some of the competition and the young men and women who ride there. It's just great to watch, and we're very happy to have with us tonight Ms. McBride. She's 17 years old. She's previously won Horsemen Over Fences Championship back in the 79th annual Troop Show. She won awards all since she's been riding from the age of 13 with our troops. So it's with great pleasure that I present you with this resolution. Be it resolved that Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders hereby wishes to congratulate Madison McBride for winning the Trooper of the Year Award. Freeholder.
Well, I want to congratulate you too, Madison, for your work and your enjoyment of horses, and just, it's really a tribute, I think, to your work and those who have ridden before you, that the county and the freeholders have put significant dollars in place to expand the facility up there and to make it a year-round facility with indoor rinks, and it's something that I've dreamed about since I was a freeholder of expanding the facility up there, and we finally were able to do it, and it's a credit to you and those who've ridden before you. I know your parents are here, and that's very nice to see, and Rachel, our director at Watchung Stable. So it's just wonderful. Congratulations and good luck in the future. And do you have a couple of words you want to share?
Yeah, I would really like to thank Rachel. She's been one of my biggest supporters, and I wouldn't have been able to do any of my riding, anything in my career without her. And I would like to thank my parents. They've been very supportive, financially too, which is fun. Yeah. And my sister, who's not here, who's been a supporter. Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Chairman, Rachel showed me a photo of the new indoor facility, which is about 95% completed. It looks fantastic. With your permission, we'll get some drawings for you and the public to take a look at the next public meeting, if that's okay with you.
That'd be wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
And when I was up there in May, I did see the new facility, and it's just fabulous. So. Now, may I please have a motion to approve communication?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Carter, seconded by Freeholder Mirabella. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak.
Aye.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Wright.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Granados.
Aye.
And Chairman Bergen.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 7 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. Now we move on. We have 5 sets of minutes from prior meetings. May I please have a motion to waive reading and accept the minutes of those 5 meetings as listed? Can I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Wright, I believe. Can we please have the roll call?
Freeholder Carter.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak.
I will abstain on the agenda and regular meeting on May the 26th, and aye to the rest.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Abstain on May 26th, agenda and regular, aye to the rest.
Freeholder Wright.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Granados.
Aye to all.
And Chairman Bergen.
Yes, as to all.
Chairman, you have 7 votes in the affirmative for the meeting minutes of the Thursday, May 5th agenda meeting and executive session minutes, and the May 12th regular meeting minutes. You have 5 votes in the affirmative with 2 abstentions for the Thursday, May 26th agenda and regular meeting minutes.
Thank you. We now move on to the introduction of an ordinance. Clerk of the Board, kindly read it by title.
Ordinance number 776-2016, bond ordinance to authorize the making of various public improvements and the acquisition of new additional or replacement equipment and machinery, new additional furnishings, new communication and signal systems equipment, new information technology and telecommunications equipment, and new automotive vehicles, including original apparatus and equipment in, by, and for the County of Union, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $58,933,154 to pay the cost thereof, to appropriate state grants, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Thank you. I'm going to ask that Freeholder Mirabella, Chairman of the Fiscal Committee, kindly move the ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to move ordinance number 776, 2016 for first reading, and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise the same in accordance with the law. The final reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 18th, 2006.
Thank you. Do I have a second, please? Moved by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Vice Chairman Granados. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Carter.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak.
Aye.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Wright.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Granados.
Aye.
And Chairman Bergen.
Yes.
Chairman, you have 7 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. We now have a number of resolutions pending. I now open the floor for purposes of public comment on resolutions being offered for adoption only. As always, kindly state your name and town of residence, and please advise which resolution you're referring to, and please adhere to the 5-minute time limit. Is anyone in the public wishing to come forward?
John Berry, Kenilworth. Just 3 of these things. First, on 620, it's page 8 of 11. It says amending Resolution 2015-800, shared services agreement with the Union County Utilities Authority for strategic facility planning. And it's $70,000 going from the county to the Union County Utilities Authority. First question is, what is strategic facility planning services? What are they? And why it's shared services? Well, it seems like the county is just giving $70,000 to Utilities Authority for some vague reason. And when you go to 2015-800, the resolution back then, September 24, 2015, there was no money in there, and it was a shared services agreement between the County of Union and the Union County Improvement Authority, not for the same thing, strategic facility planning. Are they doing the same thing? I mean, why was it the Improvement Authority back last September, and now it's the Utilities Authority that's getting the money, or does it matter? All right, the next thing is right under there, 621. It's a resolution with a settlement for Lacan, however you say that, Kearney versus Union County, in the amount of $18,000. And 2-part question on this one too. Was outside counsel involved on the county's part in this? And if so, who was involved and how much did they get? And the other part is, were there any criminal charges or disciplinary action taken against the 2 officers, the sergeant, or the nurse who were involved on the county on this? Okay, last thing is on the next page, 641, the last one. Urging Governor Christie and the legislature to support A1821, which will properly allocate 9/11 System and Emergency Trust Fund account, as required under federal law. It's just confusing. I never heard of this. How is it being allocated now? Presumably improperly. And if it's against federal law, why is this necessary? I mean, you could just say they're breaking the law. I mean, if someone can get into detail about what this is actually doing and how much money is involved and why there needs to be a bill to obey the law. That's it.
Thank you. First, on 2016-620, you are correct that in the agenda where it says Union County Utilities Authority, that is a typographical error. This really is to the Improvement Authority, and if you look at the backup in the agenda packet, it really that's just a typographical error. But I'm going to turn to the County Council to ask him to address the specific questions about the content.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As to the planning services that are to be conducted, this is a compilation of all of the space that is currently utilized by all of the county departments, including constitutional officers in the courts, feasibility in terms of the useful life of those facilities, what may be needed going forward, and the amount of space that may be needed and where we would be going in addition to our own space, for those spaces that we lease with expiration dates on those facilities, and what we may be looking forward to in terms of potential renovation, utilization of the old jail, and the court tower after the installation of the internal stairway that is needed in the tower. At the time we entered into this agreement, it was anticipated that actually the authority offered to do that study and compile that information at no cost. It's apparent at this point in time that some professionals and consultants are going to be required, especially as to future uses. And that was an amount reached after discussions with the Improvement Authority and recommended.
Thank you, Mr. Barry. I'm also going to ask you to address 621, the settlement of that litigation.
621, that was a matter that I believe, I don't have the full list with me, but I believe we had, in addition to in-house counsel, we had at least 2, I believe perhaps 3 outside counsel in this matter. There were costs which have not been finalized at this point in time. And as far as I know, there was, I know for sure there were no criminal charges brought, and I am not aware of any disciplinary action that was brought in this matter.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to address Resolution 641 myself, as I did last week, request that this be put on. Federal legislation allows the state to put a surcharge on phone usage to help pay for 911 services. And New Jersey does, in fact, if you look at your phone bill, your cell phone bill, you'll see a $9 charge, I think it's monthly, for 911. Unfortunately, the state of New Jersey has taken that money, and only about 11% of it actually goes to counties and municipalities for purposes of really maintaining our 911 facilities. The rest of it, the other 89%, goes into to other purposes by the state. The pending legislation is actually to increase that fee by 10%, which would make it slightly under $10, to fund to the counties and municipalities for what's basically the next generation of 911, and in particular to allow for text messaging and other kinds of electronic transmissions to reach a 911 operator the same way a phone call does. So whereas we're urging the legislature to pass this bill to fund that badly needed upgrade, there's really plenty of money being collected by the state to do that without increasing this fee, but the state is not using the money that way. And therefore, this fee is being supported by Union County and by the New Jersey Association of Counties. I think that pretty much covers what you asked. Thank you. Are there any other members of the public who have any questions or comments concerning specific resolutions at this time?
Good evening, Chair Bergen, ladies and gentlemen of the Freeholder Board, Bruce Patterson, Garwood, New Jersey. Just a lot of comments, but I actually do have a couple of questions. On page 2, number 579, the first one looks like something, a professional engineering service contract with Matrix. You're amending the resolution, although I don't see any costs. It's a reflective change in account numbers only. Just want to comment, Matrix has donated $25,000 in 2 years, mostly to Senator Lesniak. And I know Lesniak has claimed he's the political boss of this area. 580, on the same page, it's going to CME Associates for professional engineering service, adding $132,000 for a total of $488,000 for former Lenape Park Trap and Skeet facility. And this is just professional engineering services. This isn't even construction itself. So without a shovel in the ground, you're spending $500,000 with CME. Just to mention CME, donated to the freeholders and the cronies, $123,000 in 4 years. 581 is CME. I already commented on it, but we'll continue on. 582 on page 3, Netta Associates getting a professional architectural service contract for $82,000. It doesn't even make a difference what they're getting it for, just a comment that they donate $29,000 in 4 years to the freeholders and their cronies. Here's some questions coming up. Page 4, 590 and 591. These are actually two separate resolutions, not related. However, one's going to the Urban League to provide rental and security assistance to parolees returning to Union County, which is fine because I've listened to it and it's a very good program. $150,000. And the next one is Supernova Continuum Care Grant Award Funds, and that's for $489,000 from the U.S. Department of Housing, HUD. Let's just call it HUD. Not asking exactly what these are about, but these dollar amounts. I'm just asking, are these matching grants? Because you know I've been talking about everybody always having to match money. So are these matching grants? That's a question. Page 5, well, I'll bring it up anyway. I know it's a question that I normally do, and also Freeholder Mayor Bella likes to ask that also to head me off. But modifying the budget, there's a whole bunch of them from 596 down to 602, $8 million total approximately. I'm just wondering, is this going to offset any of our taxes, or is it just a pass-through like most times it is? In fact, all times it is. Page 7. T&M Associates at the very top, 612, provide workplace health, safety, and compliance. $136,000. That's a heck of a lot of money for workplace health, safety, and compliance and consulting. I think the other year they talked about where they give seminars and stuff. But just to point out, $94,000 donated to the freeholders and the cronies in 4 years. 1 year, 2013, was $16,000 directly to the freeholders, Carter, Kowalski, and Granadas, which oddly enough is up this year. So we'll have to see what T&M is going to do this year with donations. Page 8, the Union County Improvement Authority, number 620 on the top, strategic planning. I thank you very much for the explanation, Freeholder Bergen. I understand, yeah, it's going to be subcontracted out, but you don't have any control over the subcontractor, so I guess I really have no question on that. Yeah, 622 and 623. This is a normal question I get, and it's always evaded. There's 2 collective bargaining agreements that you're voting on, and my question is always about the health benefits that are in these collective bargaining agreements, and I guess I'll just ask, in these bargaining agreements, not necessarily the new ones, but obviously continuing through, are these people offered health benefits for life based on certain criteria? Page 9 at the bottom. I won't even ask it, you know, it's another dollar, it's more tax increases. And although it's not on here, but last meeting I was here, Freeholder Hudak actually asked the Department Head Graziano to explain about the roads and the projects that are now on hold because of Christie putting a stop on the transportation funding, and I do appreciate that question because it was an eye-opener as to what projects are now on hold. So thank you very much, Freeholder Hudak, for bringing that to light. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson. I'm going to ask the County Council just to address your question about 622 and 624 on the health benefits.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In terms of the health benefits for life that was provided, entitlement to that benefit expired with employees who were hired, I believe, no later than December of 2008. So any new collective bargaining agreement would continue that entitlement for those employees hired prior to that date. New employees do not get that benefit.
Thank you, County Council.
You're welcome.
As concerns your request about the budget items, you are correct. These are pass-through items. It's amending our budget to reflect new monies that we have received from outside sources, giving us further monies to provide services to the citizens of Union County. And then your first question, I think, was about 590 and 591. Director Guzzo, question was whether these are matching funds that we're getting.
Mr. Chairman, through you, these particular funding, these competitive awards are not matching. These are direct contracts to the agencies to provide services. So in this case, there is not matching funds required for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other members of the public who wish to comment on pending resolutions only? Seeing none, I will close that portion of the meeting and request that I have a motion to approve the pending resolutions.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Freeholder Carter. Clerk of the Board, kindly call the roll.
Freeholder Carter?
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada?
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak?
Aye.
Freeholder Mirabella?
Aye.
Freeholder Wright?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Granados?
Aye.
Chairman Bergen?
I abstain on resolutions 2016-591, 592, and 595, and vote yes as to the remaining.
Chairman, you have 7 votes in the affirmative, with the exception of the resolutions just mentioned, 2016-591, 592, and 595, where you have 6 votes in the affirmative and 1 abstention.
Thank you. I now open the meeting to comments by the public on any governmental issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of the county. As always, please state your name and town of residence, and be aware of the 5-minute time limit.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. I'm Councilwoman Eileen Kukrow, Garwood. I had a couple of things that I wanted to run by you. I don't know if it's a question, comment, observation. You were kind enough to pass the seniors, and I'm here on behalf of the Garwood seniors. So you passed the Seniors in Motion program, allocating a van to municipalities. This van for seniors does not have a lift. It's not wheelchair accessible. So we already do have a van. So I know our borough administrator sent a letter over wanting to know if we could be allocated funds to be used for the seniors alone. It would help offset a lot of the monies going forward for quite a few years. And I think it would be good for the seniors. I mean, we're all there to help them. So if we have no need of the van, since we already have one that has a lift, could that be possibly done? I'm really advocating for them. Also, what is the cost of the vans? All right, that would also help. You know, I just want to know who to be directed to. I'm hoping one of you can answer, or possibly just say, okay, that would be great. Also, grant money, matching grant funds. I just really always have a real big problem with this. Obviously, Garwood is such a small municipality that, you know, we're really tight with the budget. So, you know, the matching grants, we actually had to not use the grant money this past week for recreation because we didn't want to borrow any more money. So, I mean, if there's any way that the matching grants could be lessened percentage-wise, more of them that you don't have to match, I mean, I think it would benefit the towns greatly if that was to happen. I mean, it's like somebody saying to me, Eileen, I'll give you $1 million if you can come up with $1 million. Well, it doesn't make it easier for me to come up with $1 million. I end up with the same net amount of money anyway. So I was just wondering if you'd be able to help the seniors in this way, therefore helping the taxpayers in Garwood and helping all of us. I think that's all let me just check. That's all. Thank you so much for hearing me.
Thank you, Councilwoman. On your first question, the deadline for a request for vans was just last Friday, I believe. And I do know that your request concerning an alternate way of having the funds has been received, but we wouldn't have an answer for you yet. That's still in process. So our staff will get back to you as soon as there is an answer on that question.
I just figured I would say it first.
That's fine. As far as the cost for the vans, maybe if you want to talk to our Director Guzzo about that, he can give you that information. Okay, and thank you for your comments on matching grants. That issue has been brought up before, and this board is aware of the countervailing opinion of some people on that issue. But I'm sorry you're not allowed to. But thank you for your comments. Are there any other members of the public who wish to speak on any public issue?
Good evening, Chairman Bergen, ladies and gentlemen of the Freeholder Board, Bruce Patterson, Garwood, countervailing opinion about matching grants. It's sad, you know, because Garwood is passing up a grant, you know, and it probably is our money anyway, and we have to pass up our own money because we'd have to match it. And I believe Councilwoman Kukrow echoes my same sentiment, and it's sad that you will not even consider it, especially when on the agenda there was other monies going to places, and yes, it was a competitive award, but you know, why not them? You know, why aren't they having to match the grant money? So, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. There's too much contradiction involved. I think you better rethink the whole program. Last meeting, not last meeting, a couple of meetings ago, when the public got to speak again, I stood up and I actually started talking about Union County College and President McMenamin and an issue that is going on there. Just so happens that same day it hit the papers, and I brought a copy of the article that was written in local source, and I asked you to investigate her, and Freeholder Estrada backed her up, saying, "Oh, I take exception to Mr. Patterson's comments, and I don't think it's wrong, but I believe you really should investigate what's going on at Union County College. You fund them, I don't know, you know, at one time it was like $14 million, it's probably more now. You know, and these are taxpayers' money, and I'm a taxpayer, so my money's going to Union County College. That obviously something is not right over there. And I'll just read some of the article sentences. It comes, actually, it's accusations from an American Association of University Professors, and they voted in Washington, D.C. to place Union County College on its list of institutions sanctioned for violating AAUP-supported standards of academic government. A lot of words, you know, whatever. But somehow now there's a large organization saying something's not right at Union County College. What are they saying? They abolished key structures of faculty representation in governance, abrogated to itself the faculty role of formulating appointment, reappointment, promotion, and tenure policies, forbade any discussion of governance practices and policies, even outside of collective bargaining negotiations. Boy, it sure doesn't sound like we're in America over there in Cranford, I'll tell you. Abolishing faculty meetings, eliminating any independent faculty review and vote on curricular issues. You know, this is out since November 2015. And it sounds like you just want to turn a blind eye, you know, while democracy gets steamrolled over and tossed aside by President McMenamin. According to the report, AAUP President Gorman sought to meet with representatives of the faculty, administration, and governing boards in response to faculty complaints of governance and academic freedom violations, but that McMenamin declined to meet with Gorman. That's nice, you know. She doesn't even want to hear anything about it. We're talking about a tyrant maybe over there. I don't know. We have 30 outstanding community leaders. Oh, this is in defense. Somebody from the board actually was saying, we have 30 outstanding community leaders who serve as volunteers on our board of trustees and governors. And I believe that our complete support should be understood as total validation. That's really nice. I mean, yeah, I can't argue. There's a board there, 30 outstanding community leaders. You know, I read the names. You know, if you drop the word outstanding and leaders, then 30 community people, I can see that. But, you know, to me, obviously, much like Kane College, with a board of trustees over there, it just seems to be like rubber stamping, much like minions, lackeys, and flunkies normally do. Let's see, Union County College became one of only 7 institutions of higher learning currently sanctioned for violating principles of academic government this weekend. It's amazing. Here's some grievous here's some grievous accusations, and these are just accusations, and this is why I'm asking you to investigate. Lipkin, there's a professor named Lipkin. Lipkin cites pressure by the administration to change grades in order to hike graduation rates as just one of the concerns. Lipkin called out the school for its retaliatory measures when faculty members speak up against the administration. Anyone that speaks out is definitely retaliated against. You know, these are accusations, of course, but that's what investigations are about to find out about. According to a faculty member who requested anonymity, the faculty is indeed pressured to graduate students. They seem overly intent on achieving the goals of Middle States accrediting and they don't care how they achieve those goals as long as they can produce a number. The article is a pretty long article. But
Thank
right
you,
there,
Thank you, Mr. Patterson.
right
Please
there, I'm
finish
asking,
up.
you, please investigate. I mean, these are scurrilous
Thank you,
accusations.
Mr. Patterson.
We
Your
got
time-
an issue
Mr.
over
Patterson,
there,
please
and you're just gonna
sit-
turn a blind eye.
Please sit down. Your point is made. Your time is up.
Okay.
Thank you.
I look forward to your comments in the wrap-up. Thank you.
Any other members of the public who wish to speak this evening? Seeing none, I'll close that portion of the meeting and move on to freeholder reports and comments. Freeholder Hudak?
Thank you, Chairman. A number of comments this evening. First, in response to the councilwoman in regard to grants, I for one support the matching grant program that we've offered for recreation and infrastructure. I think it's been a way to make the county tax dollar go further and has fostered partnership with the municipalities. And I would also add that I think Garwood, as a municipality, under leadership from both parties, has been a leader in terms of utilizing those funds on facilities last year. And at the end of my year as chairman, we did cut the ribbon at the facility, the recreational facility. I think that's a great example of the partnership and the cooperation and the joint effort between the county and the town. So I understand your position on it, but I respectfully disagree with you. In regard to the last speaker's comments on the Union County College, I guess the dispute between the administration and the labor of some of the professors there. An interesting accusation that all they do is try to graduate their students. I know they do. They work very hard at it. And I would say I personally have investigated as a freeholder, and I've spent a lot of time learning about the college. And what I can tell you is that they spend a great amount of time making sure Union County students have a great option to save money on a four-year institution by going to a high-class educational facility here in Union County. They are very prepared for a four-year academic career. The college assists adults who are looking to make career transitions. I know I was at a graduation for a manufacturing program that the college had put on a couple weeks ago, and I think they do an excellent job in all these facets. So I want to commend the leadership of Union County College and Dr. McMenamin. And we from time to time will hear when there are disputes between different unions with the educational facilities that we support, be it the VOTEC. We had that issue 6 months to a year ago, as well as the county college, is that people will try to draw us into it. I'm sure they will work out their differences and come to an equitable agreement at some point, but I don't think there's a need to denigrate the accomplishments of that administration, the accomplishments of the faculties and the students of Union County College. We're very proud of what they do, and we're very proud to support them. I also want to note just a couple more comments. First, in regard to Linden, this past weekend we had the 100th anniversary of the Linden Fire Department. We had a resolution on our agenda last month, and I had a privilege to present that resolution to our fire chief, Joseph Dooley, and to honor the milestone. The Linden Fire Department takes great pride in its ambulance service, emergency medical service, and it's a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week operation. They are the sole provider of emergency services in the city of Linden, and we do provide secondary care through the county, but they do have that responsibility. So on behalf of the Freeholder Board, I would like to thank those firefighters, past and present, for 100 years of exemplary service and dedication to the community. I'd also like to note that a few weeks ago that the the Union County Police Department swore in 7 new officers and presented a few more. So I want to congratulate those new officers we are bringing on to the Union County Police Department, as well as those officers who were promoted at that ceremony. The county police department is a source of great pride for this county, and I know it's a tough time to be a police officer. There's been many high-profile events in the media, but I would also say that the Union County Prosecutor's Office, working with our police department as well as other police departments, has been taking great strides to not only equip our officers with proper training and equipment, but also, working with the community to make sure there's a great dialogue there. So, as well as then that extends to our sheriff department and the many municipality departments that we have. So, congratulations to those officers, and thank you for allowing me to speak, Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Carter.
Thank you, Chairman. This afternoon, I had the pleasure of visiting Grace Community Garden, which is on the grounds of Grace Episcopal Church that's in Plainfield. The new garden that they have built there is help funded from the Union County Means Green Community Garden Grants Program. The project, you had individuals, you had the Reverend from the church out there, you had individuals from the church, you also had people from the community who were there really to plant the garden, and their garden is coming along very nicely. And from us helping them and then being able to expand it a little bit more than what they had the project, they were able to provide fresh produce to help feed local residents in need. And it will serve children and adults with new opportunities for education, neighborhood outreach, healthy activities, and improved nutrition. Part of then that Grace also Episcopal Church has their kitchen. Part of the garden will also go towards them being able to provide meals that they serve to the community on a weekly basis. Our Garden Grants program is part of Chairman Bergen's Union County Means Green 2016 initiative, and I want to take an opportunity to thank the chairman and the Freeholder Board for supporting the community garden movement that is here in Union County. We understand how, being outdoors is great, but being able to plant and have fresh food and to exercise means so much, not just to individuals, but so much also to our youth. So we thank you so much for supporting the initiative. That's it.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Wright.
Thank you. This is a reminder that the new mobile agent services kiosk that is ASK will continue traveling throughout Union County in July. ASK launched in May, and it has visited 14 public sites so far. 2 more locations are coming up in this month in July. This free service provides senior adults age 60 and above and their caregivers reliable information about services such as home-delivered meals, respite care, home care, and adult daycare, as well as support services for caregivers. There will be visits on July the 28th at the Westfield Community Center from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and on July the 29th at the Mountainside Municipal Building from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For more details, call our Division on Aging. That number, toll-free, is 888-280-8226. Also, if you're in Clark on August the 8th, I encourage you to stop by our Choose Your Cover event. In partnership with the Clark Health Department and the Chronic Disease Coalition of Middlesex County, we will be offering free screenings and guidance on preventing skin cancer. The event will be held at the Grand Centurion Swim Club at 440 Madison Hill Road from 12 o'clock noon to 4 o'clock p.m. To pre-register, call our Office of Health Management at 908-518-5620. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Estrada.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just let me take a few minutes to talk about the special events for the summer program still left. Union County Board of Chosen Freeholder is pleased to announce that fun in the county parks continue with Family Fun and Flicks, a series in Warren Ankle Park in Elizabeth. On July 26th, they'll have The Good Dinosaur, and August 9th, they'll have Inside Out. This is a great opportunity for kids to get out there There's a warm-up section involved. It's really nice and fun. Followed by also National Night Out, which this year will be held. The county event will be held at Micelle Park in Springfield with rides, games, and activities, and the movie Zootopia or Zootopia in Tuesday, August the 2nd. I also encourage individuals to look at their own local websites for their own town and try to participate in National Night Out. It's a very important night in terms of support of individuals in the community standing up against crime. The Summer Arts Festival continues with a concert in Echo Lake Park on Wednesday, July 27th. The series, that'll be next Wednesday. The series will then travel to Oak Ridge Park in Clark, featuring more great music from August the 3rd to August 24th. And we also have the Shakespeare in the Park is touring Union County Parks with the comedy 12th Night, performed by the Shakespeare Theater of New Jersey, the Next Stage Ensemble. The next performance will be on Sunday, July 24th in the Shakespeare Garden at Cedarbrook Park in Plainfield. Of course, all of these events are free, and we ask you to please check with these events on our website for additional events, ucnj.org/calendar. And just to address a couple of issues, I know that, yes, as I was said earlier, I did speak about Union County College and Dr. McMenamin in the last meeting that I was at. And I think it's important to understand what is going on in terms of the information that was provided to us today. There is no doubt there is negotiations between management and the unions that represent our staff. And I see it as a normal interaction that takes place. And unfortunately, as my colleague so eloquently said, somewhere along the line this will be all cleared up and we'll be back to full acceptance of each other. But the reality is that Union County College has provided an outstanding service to our community, and we never must lose sight of that. Yes, this will happen. I wish that the individual will be more spoken to the manner in which the governor has treated the employees, the public employees, but unfortunately we have never heard any complaints about the governor or how he has done that. So hopefully in the next time, please, I open the mic to you so you can use the opportunity to speak about what's really going on in Trenton, and the fact is all the things that are happening. As if many of you have maybe seen the amount of projects that have stopped in terms of the construction. This is a very, very serious situation, because not only the mere fact that we have lost the best 2 months of construction, but we have also possibly find ourselves under a tremendous amount of litigations in the months to come. So, believing that, I hope that the governor and the assembly and the Senate can come together with some. I mean, once the Republican convention is already over, or pretty much over, so hopefully somebody can act on and let's get our state moving forward. And, you know, it hasn't happened for numerous years. So, I thank you for my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Mirabella.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to first add my voice and my support to Freeholder Hudak, Freeholder Estrada from last month and tonight, and I'm sure the other freeholders too, in our support for Dr. McMenamin and Union County College. I'm proud of the efforts that go on there. I'm proud of the administration. Since her assumption of the office of president, I've seen such progress, not only from the quality of education the students are receiving, but improvements to facilities to make it the best county college in New Jersey. So, you know, regardless of what you know, one individual will say or the allegations they'll try to spread, the fact remains that there is quality education going on there and a terrific place for learning, not only from students getting their two-year degree, but those, as I think Freeholder Hudak mentioned, continuing their education, their senior learning there, and you know, many positive events happening and learning going on at Union County College. I'm recently back from a program that I've been associated with for many years at the College of New Jersey called the Leadership Training Conference, and That's a conference, a 4-day conference for middle school and high school students where they learn leadership skills. I've been on the staff there for 31 years, and it is kind of the overarching organization that kind of helped establish the UC STEP under Freeholder Carter's chairmanship, where we brought students from around Union County to learn leadership skills and community involvement skills. And I had an opportunity to be on the staff again and saw students from around Union County participating with their colleagues from around the state of New Jersey. And we had students from the vocational high schools, Johnson High School in Clark, and this year, to great fanfare, was a large contingency from Linden, and 20 students participated in the leadership training conference there. And
That's awesome.
I give a lot of credit to the superintendent in Linden, the principal of the high school, and certainly, and Freeholder Hudak can tell his mother's on the Board of Education there. Her support was instrumental in understanding what's going on and the leadership program that's available and the work that group of people do for the students around New Jersey, and for Linden to take advantage of that. It was amazing to see. They got a great experience, and I think we'll keep moving that program forward. It's the longest continuously running leadership program for students in the country, and New Jersey is home to that. I want to move on to also the Sheriff's Canine Training, and on behalf of all the freeholders, I'd like to congratulate the Sheriff's Office for the canine training and the academy class. And there was many different law enforcement institutions that took advantage of it. Mansfield Township, the New Jersey Park Police, Union County Sheriff's Officer, Ashley Current and Canine Sam, Parks, New Jersey Park Officer, and along the lines. It was a terrific training and the graduation, and their canine partners I see under Sheriff Colon here. Thanks for joining us, Under Sheriff. And please share our comments and congratulations to the Sheriff for, the canine unit, not only that we have in Union County that does a terrific job, but for the training that they're offering now for other law enforcement agencies. It's really an essential part of law enforcement and public safety, and we appreciate the efforts, and keep the good work up there, Under Sheriff and Sheriff. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder. Vice Chairman Granados.
Thank you, Chairman. Just want to notify residents that OTG Management, which is a food service company, is looking to hire 30 Union County residents for a variety of different positions. You can contact the Workforce Innovation Business Center at 908-355-4444 for more information. This shop fair will be held on July 28th from 10 a.m. to 12 noon at the Jersey Gardens Mall. Also, we had one other job fair held today at 10 a.m., which Credit Score was looking to hire 40 individuals from Union County. So the Workforce Innovation Business Center has been strongly working together with Union County College to make sure we create as many job opportunities for our residents as possible. So it's definitely give them kudos on all their hard work to make sure our residents get back employment. Also, in comments in reference to Union County College, not only as a freeholder, but as a former student of Union County College, I just want to say that they have great caliber when it comes to staff, when it comes to professors, and their administration, in working together to make sure that students there who attend there get the best possible education. And I believe Union County College has led me to go on to get my bachelor's degree and master's degree, and also the quality of education I received there that's helped me advance myself in the future. So I just want to thank Union County College for everything they do for our residents also. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Vice Chairman. I'm not going to repeat what's been said about Union County College, but I will join with my colleagues in supporting the great job that they're doing. I do want to speak briefly again about the Advanced 911 to advise the public that Union County is currently taking part in a statewide pilot program that does allow text messaging to be received at our dispatch center in Westfield. It is not a permanent fix to that issue, but it is a first step forward by the state, working with the county and other places to review a potential program to do that. I don't think it takes much explaining how important it is for a 911 facility, a dispatch facility, to be able to communicate by text and other electronic means, considering the wide range of devices that people use to communicate these days. Certainly, speed is important, and getting that 911 text message to the right person quickly is important. Many people use text messaging, whether it's because they're hearing impaired, whether their cell phone reception at a particular place is weak and they can only get a text message through, or maybe they're in a situation where they can't speak because they're afraid that someone might hear them and clue that they're calling the police. So obviously that's an important step forward. We did pass a resolution this evening in support of that at the state level, and I explained at that time concerning the funding, so I won't repeat about that important issue. I want to talk about last week when I truly was privileged to attend the final round and closing ceremony of the 96th annual New Jersey State Open Golf Championship, which was held at Galloping Hill Golf Course. This marks the first time in history, that's 96 years, that it's been played at the county-owned golf course. We had the ceremony at the end of the tournament, congratulating and thanking the winner, Tyler Hall, who in turn thanked the county and the freeholders for the facility that we have at Galloping Hill Golf Course. In fact, Mr. Tyler not only thanked us, but he added that, quote, "There is no better golf course in the state of New Jersey," close quote. And that was certainly something I was very proud to be there to hear the new winner of the tournament say. There was also an article in New Jersey Monthly that same week called "Galloping Hill, A Promise Fulfilled," talking about the success of the tournament and of the golf course. Years ago, when the Galloping Hill Clubhouse was remodeled and the course upgraded, it was really seen as a centerpiece to the turnaround of our golf operation. And at that time, great things were forecast. But the success that we saw, particularly last week with the tournament, really exceeds even the most optimistic predictions at that time. We now have what is regarded by many as one of the state's finest golf courses and facilities. The clubhouse is not only there for golfers, but it's seen as a place for many people to get married and hold other special events. In fact, Channel 9 TV had a recent feature story concerning Galloping Hill and the clubhouse and how they helped out a couple who lost the place they were going to hold their wedding just about 10 days before, and how we were able to step in and help them out. I do want to take this opportunity to thank our Parks Director, Ron Zuber, our Recreational Facilities Director, Armando Sanchez, for the great job that they do year in and year out, but certainly in presenting our golf course for the Open, along with Kemper, who runs the facility on our behalf. But it's also a tribute to the members of this board, both present and past, who had the foresight to put this program forward, as well as our former county manager, George Devaney, who envisioned the project, our current county manager, Al Fiella, who has helped support it, as well as Union County Improvement Authority directors, Dan Sullivan currently, and previously Charlotte DiFilippo, who ran that authority during the time this facility was built. I'm happy that we can look forward to many, many more years of success at Galloping Hill, both for golf and for other events. And as I said on that day, I look forward to the New Jersey Open coming back in as soon a time as possible. Thank you all. I would now ask, I'm sorry, County Manager, any comments tonight?
No comments, Mr. Chairman. I think it's all been said.
County Council?
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. That being said, I will call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Have a great evening.